This is a video chart presentation of Pan Global Corp. It's an OTCQB company trading our ticker PGLO. I scaled this into a 5-month chart. You can see PGLO became active in October. Nice move right out of the gate, more than tripling in value from 30 cents to highs of 96. Gave those gains up. Looks like it found a base around 15 cents. Has climbed back up to find a support around 21 and some resistance at 25. See Thursday's move up almost 7%, nearly a million shares traded. Tested the resistance point at 25, which is not only static resistance, but also the 50-day moving average is coming down at that point. So this is the chart we're going to keep an eye on to push through that resistance and rise above the 50-day to see if it's going to continue the climb from the 15-cent lows. In the big picture, seeing the MACD trending upward. In the more near term from those lows, we're also seeing some upward movement in the MACD, rising up towards that key point, try and break through zero to indicate a trend shift towards bullishness. It's tying in nicely with stock trying to break through resistance. ADX down very low. See, only registering at 10 right now. That's a point where we look for the ADX to start to make a move. Doesn't tell you which direction, but it does say to pay attention to the chart picking a direction and adding some strength to that direction. Nice look to the MFIs, all over top of 50, saying the current price per share is rising above average prices. Not getting a whole lot from the accumulation distribution. Little bit of a downward trend, but essentially just running sideways now for the last few months. Getting a little bit of a different look from the Chaikin money flow, which has slid off in recent days. And by being in the red, that indicates that over 20-period increments, selling pressure has been outweighing buying pressure. Ideally, want to see it up in the green to indicate the reverse of that is true. Commodity channel rising a little bit, holding over top of zero. That says the current price is over its 20-day mean. The rotation in the full stow and the bullish cross just below 50. That tells me that the momentum is relatively neutral at this point. And the trick's still below zero, but trending back towards that point. Like the MACD, it's a gauge of trend. It just moves very slowly, but the break in the positive territory is what you want to see to indicate a bullish trend to the chart. Like the full stow, the RSI is a gauge of momentum, probably the most commonly used gauge, in fact. All three components right around 50, again indicating that momentum is pretty neutral. Want to see it trending and holding above 50 to show that the bulls have control of momentum. The 7 popping up above that level is important, but ultimately I want to see these red and gold lines, the longer term RSIs, trending above 50. It's a lot more reliable and shows a lot more strength. If that's happening, the 7 you can see is pretty susceptible to whipsaws. So with the 14 and 21 registering 49 and 47 respectively, it's something I'll keep an eye on to see if they're going to break through 50 as well. I do want to note this bottom support runs down to 20. You can see it's pretty strong there. But typically from closing prices, I'd look right there at 21. That would be the spot I'd want to see hold as the chart fights the resistance at 25. And you can see that's a pretty substantial resistance, as previously it was a strong support level. In classic TA fashion, when it fell through that support, it turned into resistance. And outside of these 2 days, right here at the end of January, the stock hasn't been able to close above that level. So that's a key spot from a static standpoint for the chart to try and push through that. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, there's the 50-day moving average as well. It's always a key moving average and a source of dynamic resistance. And a price per share trending over top of the 50-day is indicative of a much more bullish chart. So there's a lot going on right now with PGLO trying to push through that mark. Now beyond that, next level of resistance is going to be right there at 30 cents. And if this uptrend continues, the next place I'd look is right up near those highs at 40 cents, 38, 39, 40, right through there. But that's obviously a pretty substantial move from the closing price at 23 cents on Thursday. So I'm not looking for anything like that tomorrow. It's just always important to identify where resistance points are going to be going forward. Right now, stay near-term focused and see if volume can stay strong to break through this resistance point. Notice volume has upticked this last week as compared to how it is trading the last months before that. And that if some bigger volume comes in, this chart can move pretty quickly. So I definitely keep my eye on these volume bars to see if interest is picking up in this chart as it challenges the technical resistance point. Those are the things that I'll be looking for in the PGLO chart. But as always, merely my interpretation. Thank you for watching. Trade smart.